recording. Hey, good morning, everyone. Appreciate it. We're doing some how to get to your property. Oops, now I just really blew that out, didn't I? I just lost everyone. Sorry, stand by. That probably didn't share with you, did it? Because I canceled sharing. Share. There we go. All right, so we're back here. All right, so basically what happened on that is that this one right there. So basically what happened there is that I kind of strategically just said, you do what you want to do on the back end of your loan, and just kind of do that on your side. I'm going to wait till we get a little further into this transaction. I waited till we got to the very, to the end of we negotiated our request repairs, got that finalized. And then I said to the agent, I called her up and said, hey, I just want you to know that the financial advisor said, probably best to get a loan on this property instead of doing cash. Here's the loan person's number. He's going to move forward with both. If he can pull this off, we're not going to change June 2nd. It's going to close on June 2nd, no matter what, and by cash or by loan. So please, just let your seller know that he's going to get his money either way. And she was totally down and fine with that. If I would have shared that like day 2 after they accepted our cash offer, that might have been a little problematic. So my gamble there to let it ride a little bit and not forcefully go tell her super quick. But in the contract, it does say if you do any kind of change or any financial change in there, that you do need to notify them that it's going to happen. So I kind of want to, and that's an entry story here that I've got a VA buyer. I've already shared this with you guys. I'm not having success getting him successfully accepted on any kind of deal because we keep saying VA, keep saying FHA. So Jared shared a little bit about that. Feel free to, if your buyer can qualify, because sometimes they can. Sometimes they can do a conventional loan at the same time on FHA or conventional, but they just have to put a little less money or a little bit more money down. So he basically suggested go ahead and write the offer up as a conventional financing and do both of them at the same time. So like I said, you're not trying to deceive or do anything dishonest. You're just trying to get the offer accepted. And then you might have 2 appraisals. You might have an FHA appraisal and a regular appraisal. So he was just kind of suggesting that if you can write an offer that saying, let's go conventional. And I shared that with my gentleman that's doing the VA. I said, look, you're going to have to do something different than the VA. And I've shared with the other agents as well, saying my VA buyer has $35,000 in the bank. So I'm trying to share that it's not just he's got money to pay for appraisal if the appraisal's short. He's got money to be able to do that. He's trying to use his VA. So, this is kind of an interesting concept here. But again, if you change any kind of instrument of what you're doing loan-wise, then you're going to have to let them know. But you could go in with a conventional, have a side-by-side FHA going on at the same time, but then at the very end, you just have to just comply and close whichever, just get the seller the money at the end is kind of what you need to do. It was kind of scary one time where I had the seller and they were going cash. And then they started in the middle of the escrow. They said, no, we want to go a loan. And my seller absolutely demanded that they are not going to do that. Absolutely demanded that they would not change or anything. So I just told the other agent, we're closing on this day. Whatever you're doing on your side, just know that my seller is expecting it to close. And they closed it on the loan. Seller, I don't know if the seller ever realized that it was a loan or not, but you have to kind of get the buy-in by both sides if you do some kind of change. So if you're doing a regular conventional and then all of a sudden you say, hey, now we're doing a VA, that kind of totally changes everything. But be prepared that they just need to know they can qualify for both FHA, VA, or conventional. Then you're fine. I think you're fine if that's the point. But if you don't write a conventional financing when you know that it only has to be VA and you're going to have to go back and do VA because there's no way they can qualify conventional, then I wouldn't go this route. So they got to go either, they have to qualify for both loans. Does that make sense? All right. Okay. So that was 17. This is interesting here, guys. You know, I know that there's a lot of coming soon signs, which there's some rules and regulations on those, but there's one in Lake of the Pines that said coming soon. She was able to get me to go see it. I got to go see it. We wrote an offer, $5 grand higher than the asking price. And now it did actually end up going live in the MLS last night, but I wanted to just go in with a higher offer, go in with her highest and best offer. So if you, it's a strategic maneuver right now when your agents, you're finding agents who are saying, hey, we're going to review all offers in 5 days. We've shared this before. And do I put my offer in now? Do I wait the fourth day? Where am I at? So this is where that clause that you can come in with escalation clause saying we're going to give you a full price offer, but we're also going to give you more up to this dollar amount as well. If you do get more offers, but it's communication. You know, I will reach out to this agent this morning saying, hey, I see that you put the home on the market. Please let me know if you get any more offers. My client, we came in over asking, but I just want you to know that we can go higher. Sometimes that may not work. Sometimes the only reason why we did that is because it wasn't on the MLS yet. We did not know she was putting it on the MLS last night. So, but sometimes just come in straight out and just say, what would you do? Because now my lady said, oh, well, you know, I'll put like 415 on this property now. And we came in at 405. So now I'm going to have to tell the other agent, hey, by the way, if another offers come in, please let me know because we will change our price. We only came in at above asking, showing we're super, super excited. But if the other offers come in that start beating us out, we are prepared to move up to be able to secure this property. So that's how I'm going to kind of play that a little bit. But sometimes just come in straight out of the gate and say, here it is. Because if you're offer number one, you kind of show your hand a little bit early. So sometimes I'll wait till 2, 3, 4 days in, communicating with that agent. I've got an offer. It's sitting here. I've got an offer. It's sitting here. I've got an offer, and just keep telling them that every day and say, just want to check. Hey, Tim, to get more offers on the property. Hey, Tim, to get more offers. Yes, we've got a couple. Yes, we got this. You know, an offer, another agent that she got her offer accepted yesterday, but my client almost wrote an offer on it. And she kind of shared with me that both offers were about asking price. So again, if you were representing the seller, I probably wouldn't mention that, but in this case, you know, she did. So, but my client didn't write her offer at all anyway. But so sometimes just listen to what the other agent says, because I will ask her, I'll say, hey, just want to let you know, we're going to come in higher. You know, do we need to? Do you have other offers that are higher than ours? You know, just listen in between kind of the lines. If she says, yes, we do, then boom, she may not tell me what the price is, but I know at least I got to move up. So, you know, going straight in at the highest and best right out of the gate. Now, I wish the lenders were here. You guys are aware that there's a difference between just a pre-approval letter and fully underwritten, right? Have you heard them talk about that? All right. So again, guys, this is something where if you go in and make sure if you do have a fully underwritten buyer, you got to make sure you tell that to the other agent and say, hey, Allie, just want you to know I'm putting an offer on your property. These guys are not just pre-approved. They are completely underwritten approved. All they're waiting for is an address and an appraisal on the property, and we're good to go. And so we have full loan approval, and we are good. Because if you have 5 or 6 offers, and most people are just pre-approved, just flat out just pre-approved, and that's it. So this gives an opportunity. Now, several years ago, Tim, I could call up and just say, hey, I make $2 million, and a lender would just give me a pre-approval letter just because I just told them I made a bunch of money. And they could be totally lying. And so you could get that. Now there's a little bit more rules and regulations of they don't like freely just give those letters out like all the time and super easy anymore, but you can certainly get a pre-approval letter pretty quick online these days. And that kind of concerns me too, as a pro note there, that every once in a while when I'll say, hey, Tim, you got your pre-approval letter? Oh yeah, give me 5 minutes. And all of a sudden he sends it to me. He jumps online and they say, oh, I got my pre-approval letter on some ABC lender online somewhere that, yeah, again, I can put in $2 million on, and I'll get a pre-approval letter, so it kind of, I like to have them actually speak to a lender themselves, and hopefully even a local lender would be good too. And lastly here, I thought this was interesting. How many people, maybe you guys don't have people calling you yet, but I've got agents that will call me all the time for Lake of the Pines. And these are agents in Folsom, Roseville who know me. And they'll just say, Eric, I know you live in Lake of the Pines. I know you work in Lake of the Pines. Do you have anything else coming? Do you have any other stuff coming? And so if you're in the midst of talking and chatting with an agent and you didn't get that offer accepted or whatever it might be, and just say, do you have something else that's coming in the near future? And if they say yes, then you can, maybe jump on that and get into that, at least know what's coming. If you're building in the new builders and you've got, there's definitely, like we talked to Kelly Leatherman and you say, Kelly, I know you've got one house that's on the market here in Timberwoods, but what else you got coming? And they might say, yeah, we've got A, B, and C coming in 20 days, 15-day completion times, or whatever it might be. And then you might be able to jump, if you missed that one, and jump into another one. So those were kind of the, those. Any questions on those at all? Going back into review, communicate with the other agent, make it easy, ask the agent of what you need to make that happen. Again, over communicate, buyer to pay agents commissions, don't do handwritten. I got a counter offer the other day, handwritten. I couldn't even read it. Fill in the contract completely. So that's important too. Waive contingency, just to let you know on this one, fill in the contract. When you guys do a listing, make sure you put the dates. Every once in a while we go so quickly on that we forget to put the listing dates up on top. And I've had some experience with some agents in our offices that forgot to put the listing date on top. And then we got into some arbitration stuff later. And then we realized we didn't even have a legal listing agreement. So fill in all those dates. Waive contingencies we talked about, cover some moving cost. Cover some sales tax, escalation clause, which is one that you're starting to see a little bit more. That one kind of burnt. I had a buyer the other day that they came in and gave us $10,000 over asking. There was no other offers on the property, 10 grand over asking, and they said they would pay up to $20,000 more than even that price too. So how do you think that it went really well when we'd started negotiating things and items to be fixed? Well, my clients kept thinking, well, they were willing to pay, $500,000 from a house. So why were they having some issues? But they were sticklers. We actually countered back and forth 3 or 4 times on request repairs on a dollar amount for a roof to be credited. So, but we got it done. So it closes next week. Submit more documentation than you need, and buyer pre-approval just not qualified. I guess we actually already talked about that one. A local lender, relationships, keeping small communities, and obviously the higher the better the price. Now I lost one last week because the people didn't want it to go up that high. We definitely had the opportunity. The agent actually told me and said, guys, if there's no, my seller told me that you guys could have the house if you could pay 660,000, and they only, they came in at 635, and my people just didn't want to go that high. So sometimes you lose a deal, and you got to sometimes remember that and remind your client that, because I have one client right now who kept saying, Eric, we keep losing out on these deals. And I've told them twice now, remember that 2 of those homes you could have had, but you chose not to go any higher. So don't come back and blame me that, I'm not doing a good enough job trying to get the house for you. What's the problem and what issues we're having? But you could have had 2 of those homes but you chose not to go any higher than the price that you were at. So, all right, you guys, that is where we're at with getting those, those offers accepted. There's a lot of different ideas out there. We just need to, unfortunately, we're working 10 times harder to get a buyer into contract right now, and that's just kind of what it is. So any questions or thoughts on any of these things?
What's your take on confidentiality agreements with your offers?
Yeah, thank you. Allie, that's a good question. I keep forgetting to submit them, and I can keep forgetting to do that, and I totally should. I really respected a couple agents recently that one of them actually said, I do not have confidentiality agreements on these other 2 homes, and the seller's given me permission to tell you this is how much money is that they would take. So that was kind of nice, but my client decided, that's the other example I shared earlier, they decided not to go that high. If you were in a multiple counteroffer situation and I would probably, if I would remember more, I'd probably submit them so then you can actually have that. confidentiality agreement that you, and Tim, what that basically means is that I'm not allowed to share with Allie Tim's offer comes in, and I'm not allowed to share price, terms, or anything. It gets a little dicey because if I say, well, do you have a cash offer? Can I say yes or no to that when it's confidential? Probably not supposed to even say that. And some other agent the other day said, sorry, I can't really tell you anything. Just submit your highest and best because I've got confidentiality agreements on that, which didn't help me, as far as an agent trying to figure out what price to come in at with my buyer, but it certainly helped the other agent on securing that house because they kind of made the agent be quiet. Watch that. And also that, Allie, that's a good question though, that when you get offers, make sure that the confidentiality agreement that may be on page 22, that you saw that you actually got one. Because I remember the other day that I was sharing, maybe a month or two ago, when I was sharing with an agent, I said, yeah, we've got a couple offers. They are over asking price and da-da-da. I didn't really give more than that. But then I realized that there was a confidential agreement, because when you get 10 offers and you don't open every one of them, you just kind of look at the price and some terms. But I didn't look at the very end where it said confidential agreement on like page 20. And so I went, oops, I probably shouldn't have maybe even said what I even said. So, but I like them, and I'd probably use them more, if I would just remember to go put them in.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. I've used one once, but it's because, yeah, we knew we were going to be the first offer in and that they were expecting 2 more offers. So instead of being the comparison, I submitted one, but I haven't done it on all of the offers I put in. So I just didn't know if that, should be a thing, or if it's negative in any way.
I don't think it's negative in any way. I think that's smart. In other words, just kind of speaking out loud there. I kind of like that, going in the first offer and giving that confidentiality, on that. If you guys have a listing and you get an offer on the table, and oftentimes if other agents call me and say, do you have offers on the table? And I go, yes, we have one. And they go, okay, great. Thank you very much. And I go, well, wait, were you going to write one? Well, then since you already have one, we're not going to write one. So, sometimes it kind of backfires as if you're selling, have the listing that. So I just go, yeah, there's a couple things brewing, or yes, we have one, but we really, really want another one. Now, when I say that, Tim might look at that and go, yes, he may really want another one. So I'm going to kind of read that in the lines that maybe the offer is lower, or maybe Eric's not super pleased with that offer. So I'm going to go ahead and submit one. So I try to give them some encouragement to write something. If I've got something, I was nice that this lady down in Auburn, this other agent, she goes, Eric, I just want you to know, yes, you're welcome to show this home a couple of days ago, but I just want you to know that we're like $20,000+ over asking on that. So if your client, I don't want to waste your time, my client's time, so there have been times where I've actually weeded that out, where I've, as a selling agent on one down in Awali, that's down in South Auburn, when we had 9 offers, 9 offers, I just finally started telling people, we're substantially over asking, like way, 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 way over. So if you want to come in, just so they don't, I don't want them to waste their time. So at the same time, which was nice. And some people didn't bring in offers, and because they knew that they wouldn't even have a chance. Especially if you tell them it's a cash offer, like way over asking price, and you probably won't even get an offer. So you want to be careful not to give too much, because did that hurt any potential from, you at least want 2 or 3 offers before you tell people that, hey, I don't want any more offers. So, but it happens. Cool. All right. Other questions? Anything else you guys want to talk about? Just, it's not even besides this, anything that you guys have